This is my old buddy Doc. How long's it been?
A long time.
How long's it been?
It's probably 10 years.
At least 10 years.
Yeah, at least 10 years.
It's my old cousin.
You was still working.
Randy Rue.
I'm putting together some collages. Come out here. I'm going to show you the ones from. Don't forget your
Oh yeah.
your wiring.
My wiring.
He's been unwired for a long time.
What about that? Well, it's a good picture of Minnie. I loved her, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Now here's the original family, except for George.
Yeah.
George is in one of them. Oh, here he is. He's in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Right there inside of Hassie. Yeah. Hassie and Martindale's the only two that's left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of the. Mom told me what order these were taken in. This is one of the early ones because Mom's holding me there.
Can't be.
That's Freddie.
Can't be, because here I am. You're as old as I am. That looks like me.
No, that's Linda. That's Linda, because
Oh.
see, right there's Freddie.
Okay, yeah, it ain't me then.
Right there's Freddie.
Well, I don't know where Mom's at then.
There's Carl. That's Eva and Carl.
Yeah. I think that's you's holding everybody up.
I believe that's me. There's Freddie. That's you right there, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. That's
Yeah,
me
you
there.
kind of got a little haircut there. It's nice.
That's Papa on
Anybody need the bathroom before we go?
Where we going?
I don't know. Someone get some breakfast and then the laundry.
We turned it loose down through there, and we'd hearing it bouncing off of trees, bounce, bounce, bounce. And all of a sudden it got real quiet, and we heard the rock hit out in the river. And then the next thing we heard was a truck start up and take off down the river.
Because we were swinging on it, and I remember Dennis swinging out on it, and you'd go out, and the hill was dropping away from you. So by the time you got to the end, you were pretty high up in the air. That grapevine let loose and dropped in. He come climbing back up the bank.
They tried to kill me. One thing I can remember is every time I went to docks, we was young. We just wanted to play. We wanted to play in the woods. We wanted to swing on grapevines. We wanted to. And Dan and Otto Smith would come down off the hill, and all they wanted to do was fight. We fought, and I mean, every time I saw them coming, I thought, well, here we go again. Of course, later on, Dan became a real good friend, and just a great guy. But
Otto is too.
They wanted to fight. I wanted to play, and they wanted to fight.
That was Dan's favorite thing to do.
Yeah, he liked to fight.
But the cob left, and if it's cold, the corn cobs freeze. Well, we were down there one day, we got in a corn cob fight. We're throwing corn cobs at each other. And I stuck my head around the side of the building. About the time he threw and hit me in a corn cob right in the temple, knocked me colder than kraut.
Oh, yeah.
And I took that 38 back there, and I'm sleeping, and Dennis comes back there rattling around, and I sat up in bed with the 38. Dennis said, don't shoot, it's me.
Yeah. Lord, I need to write a book about the old W&W.
Oh, I tell you. It wouldn't mean much but to many people, but to some of us it mean
It mean a lot.
He had a 53 Ford. No, he was in his daddy's 57 Chevrolet.
Yeah, that's what he was in, a 57 Chevrolet, and it was sitting in that little water hole.
It was froze. Little bitty, they was a little bitty mud puddle that was froze.
That deep.
And we jacked it up and put pop cases under it, and we could hear him out there going zzz, zzz. He come back in, he said, boys, he said, you ain't gonna believe this, but I'm stuck in a little mud hole about that big right there. I said, would you
come push me out?
We went and pushed him off them pop cases, and he went around the building and went toot toot. We probably could have went around back.
Nah, he can walk up here. He might not be upset outside.
They might not. Well, I like this porch.
Somebody's been working.
Diane. Got you.
How you doing?
Good, buddy.
We're from the Jehovah Witnesses.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Before I forget it, I want you to look at this, see if you know any of those guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna take another before we all leave.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. You want to
here.
sit inside, I guess, don't you? Or can you sit out here?
Sit out here a while.
All right. You still having allergy problems?
Yep.
Bad year for them.
I carry this.
What is that?
It's not right.
Oh. I thought that was a mask or something.
Yes.
Blue snot rag. Well,
I've had a terrible time this year, man.
coming over here, we told some stories, and I can't remember. We was going to get Carl to verify one of them. You remember which one it was?
It's one in the bug hole. Who was driving? Or
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
was driving. I know what you're talking about.
Go try to get in the window on you.
Yeah.
well, I wanted you to tell
I'll
them.
live to be 100. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, we was.
Scared
We-
me to death.
I
You was
wanted
dri-
you to tell the one about us hitchhiking back from moving Margaret to Knoxville.
Oh my goodness.
And the only reason I want you to tell it because I know none of these guys were with us. It was me and you and Susie's brother.
Junior,
And about the old guy that picked us up.
he was drunk. He picked us up, give us a ride. And he'd let go of the steering wheel and turn around and talk to us.
That's right.
Over the door, over the seat. And Doc reached up and grabbed the steering wheel. And we finally said, well, we get out here, you know, I had enough of that.
The thing is, we were coming all the way up here, but he picked us up north of Hall's Crossroads. And finally, Carl had all the, he said, we're just going right up here, this next fork in the road. We won't out. Shit, we were still 40 miles from home.
Who was it?
Remember
I
who
might have been cold and hungry, but I wasn't going to die on car wreck. It'd been all night long. Just, we'd get together, we'd huddle up, all three of us. We'd huddle up, because it was cold, you know. It was summertime, but man, it's cold on that lake. And we spent about 2 hours at that store on a park bench, on a picnic table,
Yeah.
trying to keep warm.
She wanted us to get out because she didn't know us. She was afraid we were going to do her some harm. And I said, lady, we ain't going to harm you, but we ain't going to get out either.
But we got a ride to Tazewell.
She
Well,
was a school teacher at Tazewell, and she thought we were some of the students that went to school there.
What was trying to remember his
tell us the story about you and Randy. I had forgot about this. You and Randy going through the tunnel over there.
No. Sucker like to kill me, man.
put a footprint
We're
in
going
his
through that
chest.
tunnel, and I've been through it several times, you know, and you can't see from one side to the other because there's a hill and a curve in there.
Yeah.
And so you'd take a forked stick and hold it on the rail, and that rail will guide you through the dark part that you couldn't see. Well, him and Randy going through that, I think we've been to Devil's Garden. And but we'd walking through that tunnel, and all of a sudden, ah! And Randy turned around and run right over me.
He had on a white t-shirt,
He
and I put a
footprint
black
there.
footprint right there from all
And
that
that thing
soot.
is full of cinders from where the old steam engines used to run through there.
I run on
And
lead for a
evidently
while.
they would dump their cinders in that tunnel. And I got up and I started running. And I didn't know what he was running from, but I didn't want to wait and see. And I passed him up. I was taking short, fast steps. Just taking
Yeah, I
them
could hear him
long.
coming. It was it reels. I was just
And I passed him up, and I stumped my toe and fell again. That sucker hit me in the back.
put a black footprint between his shoulders.
We got out of that tunnel, my knees was bleeding. I had cinders. I still got cinders in my knees. And I finally got home, and Daddy liked to whip me. He thought I'd lied to him. He thought we'd been in the car wreck.
Me and you and Freddie paying Mitchell a quarter to tell us where the cooking run was hid. We got in that cooking run.
Oh Lord. We had Coke. We was chasing that 151 McCarty cooking run. I mean, that stuff was strong, man. We started drinking that run, chasing it with Coke. Well, we run out of Coke, we started chasing it with milk. You talking about sick?
I can get sick just thinking.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, we got sick.
I had a good buddy in the Army from Texas. He was full-blooded Indian. You know, Indians and alcohol, and that's what he drunk, that 151. He got up there in the bar one night, got drunk, was headed back to the base. Run out, they got a lot of swamp up there in northern Ohio, up above Cleveland.
Yeah.
Run off that swamp, he had a beautiful 62 Chevrolet. And there's two cops seen him go in there. And they run back to see if he's hurt, see if he could help him. All he seen was two cops up there, and he fell out of the car with a .357 Magnum and a full box of shells. They got him when he run out of shells. Randall McNew, you don't remember him?
I don't remember the
Wilder
face.
than
Run with that bunch out of the gap, on, been jolly old day all night.
was real tall, thin, and skinny.
And I always got the pleasure.
That sounds like half the people I run around with at the time.
Yeah, he was
I'm the one out. Me and Doc were in Middlesboro, and Larry Robertson picked us up. Larry was hard drinking at that time. He had a
between
65, 66 Ford.
At Ford Fairlane,
Yep,
took my first drink of whiskey in that car.
yep. And he got drunk. And we was going down, coming out, and I swear to you, we was doing 80 miles an hour right down the middle, right down the middle of Middlesboro. Today you couldn't get away with that. But Doc was hanging halfway out the window, bouncing the yo-yo off the floor, off the pavement. That was something.
Me and Doc went up Bellevue, and
I ain't seen it. I ain't seen it.
you remember, somehow they had this thing up there. All the people up there. That was when colored socks first came out. Everybody down here wore white socks. Well, if you wore white socks, you was gay.
Yeah, up north.
Well, they had a curfew downtown. It was at 10 o'clock. And I was out somewhere with some girl, and they come down there. There was a bunch of them come out there. And they said, "You better get downtown." Said, "Doc's sitting on the drugstore steps." And said, "He's got white socks on." I thought, well. So I went down, got him.
We said on the way over here, you probably gonna outlive us all.
That's what I said. I said, "Carl will outlive every one of us."
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna be killed by a jealous husband, so that's...
Well, no, their stories was fine, but the last four has sounded pretty close. You know, pretty close to the same one. So.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
We were scuba diving.
You talking about close encounters with the police. Me and Dennis was in Florida, and I had that Cadillac, belonged to Daddy. It has a rosewood color, you know, very uncommon color.
Yeah.
And we went around behind the flea market and drove right up to a pond, and we was fishing in that pond behind the flea market. I mean, you know, private property. I knew the guys owned the place. We was out fishing. The Mocha Farms Road was over here, and right here's interstate. We're right between them, not too far from either one of them. Matter of fact, you could hear the cops talking. And the deputy sheriff pulled up over here and stopped and just started watching us. It wasn't but a few minutes, the state trooper pulled off the interstate, standing there watching us. I told Dennis, I said, maybe they take fishing without a license pretty serious down there. You know? I couldn't think of nothing else. And so it finally unnerved us. I said, let's go back. I mean, you know, got cops watching you. And we got in the car and started back, and they heard that deputy over the loudspeaker in his car said they're heading toward the flea market. Yeah. Oh, Lordy day, what have we done? What are we into? But we started going back, and by the time it was off the flea market a little ways, by the time we got back, you know, they had these posts up and rails for people which way to go, you know,
Right.
with the car. We come out there, and here they come, buddy. I bet there's 10 of them cop cars. And they was knocking down them fence posts, swerving, you know. And Dennis just put his hands up on the dashboard, and I froze at the steering wheel. And they got up next to us and looked at us and kept right on going.
They went out the same way they went in. That beat all I ever seen, and it looked like something out of Smokey and the Bandit. I mean, it was.
Yeah, it was really hilarious after it was all over.
And Carl said they got down there looking at another car somewhere.
It was a Buick, the same color.
Yeah.
That's a Cadillac. It had 2 black guys in it. I'll say black guys for the video there.
They had robbed the place, hadn't
They'd robbed the place and they'd wanted up in Michigan for, I don't know, murder maybe, I don't know, but they was pretty good bandits, you know.
they? They scared the far out of us.
But those guys had drove the cops and pulled in right behind us. And we didn't see them, you know, they pulled up in the woods. And if we hadn't left, we'd been a statistic. They was gonna take our car.
Yeah.
I talked Dennis into going in with me buying a average small airplane, you know,
Oh,
One-seater.
ultralight.
oh, okay.
And we was gonna get a 2-seater. 2020 or something one night was on television. They showed this guy, now a news guy. He gets in one of them, never been in one in his life. And he takes off and gonna fly, you know. I mean, you just don't do that. You know, I don't care what kind of
You
plane
can
you're doing.
once.
Huh?
Can once.
Once, yeah. He got up there and they was filming him. That engine went oink, oink, the wings folded up on that thing, and he come out of it. He fell, they said, about 800 feet. So, you know, I think it probably killed him.
I would imagine.
It wasn't 5 minutes. The phone rang and said, "No way."
Ain't no what.
He caught a skunk in his trout,
Oh, God.
and it's live trout. Well, they got the bright idea that they was gonna shoot it. They were gonna shoot it in the cage, so he let it go. They had one of them little
I had a snake charmer. One of
Yeah,
them
one of them
14
snake
snake
charmers.
charmers.
410, no sights on it now. And he couldn't hit it because it didn't have no sights, so he put it right there in front of his face and pulled the trigger and it come.
Buddy, that hammer hit me right there.
Like to
Busted
knock me
my
back.
lip, like to knock my teeth out. Like knock
Randy,
me out.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Now that was standing over there laughing too.
Looks like it hurts.
That was, I mean, that's been there about 60 years. 58, 60 years. That's car's been in my head.
And that stuff, when it went off, the whole place, you couldn't see nobody from smoke.
Yeah.
It smoked that place up.
No wonder we didn't burn the apartment down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big lesson to me. That taught me never trust Carl.
Well, it took you a long time to figure that out, didn't it? We need to tell the
Well,
story.
I'm just having fun.
We need to tell the story about when Freddie held the pillow out the window, because we never have told it fully.
We'll let you tell it.
Why me?
'Cause
I was the victim.
I know, that's why we're letting you tell it.
You need to tell it the way a friend of mine told me one time. He was the secretary of an organization he belonged to. Somebody asked him what his job was. He said, "My job is to record history. Not as it happened, but as the way I remember it."
That sounds like a winner.
That's right.
Smart man.
It was when Papa died. Papa Chumley
Yeah,
died.
we was just laying in court, we was having setting up with the dead. That's what we was doing. That's what they used to call it. Now it's wake, I reckon.
Yeah.
Me and Freddie and Dennis, Doc wanted to go home.
I was in
No,
the
it was Kelly. I was with you. There was 5 of us went down, 4 of us came back.
Okay,
It was Kelly that wanted to go home.
okay, I had it.
Yeah.
But going down, everybody talking about this house, the Billingsley house, is empty at the
In the
time.
bug hole.
Yeah, talking about it being haunted. And you could look over there, this house, You know, it looked like I owned his house. And we took somebody home, and we was coming back, and Freddie and Dennis was in the back seat, and I thought they was asleep, okay? And I was sitting there driving, we got by that building's house, and I looked at it, and I caught something in that corner of my eye. And, you know, I just kind of froze. And I looked over there, this big old white thing floating around beside the car. I went, ah! I let go of the steering wheel. I mean, I was going to die anyway. Lord have mercy, it scared me to death. Them two pricks that took a pillow case and run it out the window.
It was a pillow. It wasn't a case. It was a full pillow.
Yeah,
But
Freddie's
I
the one
was
picked it
sitting
out the
I
window.
was sitting shotgun, and I could see you do it. I saw you start with it, and I didn't say anything. I just sit there and watched. And I didn't get really concerned until he turned the steering wheel.
The particulars get kind of blurry after 60 years.
And we had to-
50, you
We
know.
wasn't but 15.
Huh?
We wasn't but 15.
Well, he was old
I've
enough to
done
drive.
64.
I had my license. It was Margaret's car, I remember that.
And that
That
old
was
Chevrolet.
64 Chevrolet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had 100,000 miles on it. I changed oil in it the first time. It's the truth. Swear to it.
Man, you talk about. But you know,
Hey,
it's been a great
Third
time
degree
seeing you.
burn.
Yeah,
He didn't
I hope
have
it's
no
not as
pain.
long again.
Burnt
I hope so
nerve
too. If you come to the family reunions, we'd see each other more often.
Yeah. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Always next year.
Well, there's something I've been dying to do since I've been here. Hold still.
Don't mess with my hair.
That darn big,
Hey, I look at it like that every now and then. Keep it in.
that big old white hair sticking out look like a duck's
You-
bill.
You remember what you told my sons, and they still remember and remind me of it. When you had hair other than your beard, and you had almost some on top. You said you didn't lose your hair; it just relocated, went to your ears and your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no.
My ears and nose and ass.
Good to see you,
Good
bud.
to see you. You take care of yourself.
You too. I love you. I love y'all, man.
I love
Just
you
like
too.
brothers.
See you, Betty.
Okay,
Take care of yourself.
let's get a little closer here.
Well, I can't. I can't for your belly.
Well, I sitting there, I was noticing we've all pretty much about the same.
We eat good, don't we, buddy?
Yeah. I got a lot of money invested, man. I'm
Love you,
gonna
man.
Get rid of it.
See you, buddy.
See you, man. Love y'all.
Love you, buddy.
You too, buddy. Take care.
I can always say I've had a good family.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's what I say.